Just Our Imagination is a collaboration that requires you to use your creative imagination. It can be reimagination or renewed imagination. There must be 3 things to use: a brush, a pick, and a coffee filter. Hi, my name is Cindy, aka Z9designs. So sit back and let's get on with the show. DIY number 1, hanging coffee filter light. The supplies needed include a puck light, hot glue, scissors, and cardboard, and that's it. So I took a salad plate and used that as a pattern to cut out a circle for the light fixture. Then I used scissors and I drew a circle in the middle. And then I cut out the opening. And an X-Acto knife worked pretty well. The circle was covered with a couple of coffee filters. But I first used acrylic paint to diffuse the brown cardboard. Now that was done on both sides. Next, I folded the coffee filters in half and then in half again. I rounded the top where the ruffles are and then cut on the fold. So in all, you have 4 pieces of coffee filters. Then I started gluing them on the edge of the circle, overlapping the petals. And after the petals were around the outside, then I started putting them closer to the middle. And this was done until I got to the small circle in the middle. And to hang down, it looked like a beautiful flowers. You could either hang it down or you could have it where it's upward. Next, I took a puck light and put it in the middle, and it had like a sticker, so I stuck that on in there, but then I had to add some hot glue to it too, which is no problem because I can still take it out if I want to, because it is remote control also. I had to put a jute rope to hang the light high. Now, I could not find my chain, but you can also do a chain to hold it up. That would have looked nice too. If I find my chain, I will change it to that. And I think this is fabulous. Let me know what you think. I have an idea of where I would like to put it, and it's not my house. So Just Our Imagination is hosted by Kathy Jo DIY and Rustic and Lace DIY. Now the guest host this time is Simply Blessed Crafts. I love this collaboration to see what everyone comes up with. And I tell you, this one really racked my mind trying to figure out what I was going to do with these things that were different, that used my imagination. Now, there are great women who love to craft and also make you laugh. So be sure to subscribe, like, and save. The link to their channels is in the description box below. Then there are other crafters who are imaginative, so check out their channels as well. And the link to the playlist is in the description box below. And remember, we had to use a hair pick, a hairbrush, and some coffee filters. I'm going to get them next time. DIY number 2, a brush canvas painting. The supplies needed include a brush, orange, brown, gold, and green acrylic painting, a gold pen, that's a paint pen, brush bristles, a hard canvas, a saw, and E6000. Now, this is where my imagination went, like, what am I going to make with this thing? So here goes. I removed the bristles from the brush and set them aside. Next, I found a hard canvas that I had previously used, and I cut a piece to fit inside where the bristles were. And I painted the canvas black. Then I took a pencil and sketched out 3 pumpkins with stems and tendrils and leaves. A small paintbrush was used to color in the pumpkins, but I let a little bit of the black show through for some shading. And brown paint was used for the peduncle or the stem, with a bit of white and gold. I painted the leaf green, and then I added a little bit of white for contrast. And lastly, I took a gold pen and traced it around the pumpkin leaf and stem to kind of make it pop. However, I could not find my specific gold pen, and when I do, I'll go around it again and it will really pop. The tendrils was added for a cohesive look, and then we had to do something with the bristles. They said we had to use the entire brush. So I cut some of the bristles and I painted them gold. And then I used some wood glue to adhere them below the pumpkins. And these are supposed to be straw, in case you can't figure it out. It's like straw beneath the pumpkins. And then I had the brush handle. And I didn't think it looked too cool with the brush handle sticking out, and then you had this painting. It looked more like a brush. So I wanted it to look like something else. So I took a saw and I sawed off at an angle the brush handle. And then I just glued it to the back of the brush with E6000 and hot glue. I will have to tell you, this is a beautiful transformation. And I might paint over this and just paint some Christmas trees. That would look cute too. I may do that. What a transformation. Who would have known this was a brush at one time? Well, let me know what you think. DIY number 3, a jute doll. The supplies needed include a hair pick, brown and red jute, ribbon, and some googly eyes. Now this one, I don't know, I was just pulling from the air to try to figure out what I was going to do with this hair pick. So since it had teeth on the hair pick, I decided to weave some jute in and out of the teeth. I did that about halfway up, and then I left some extra jute on the side, like little tendrils, so it was like ponytail on one side and a ponytail on the other side. And then I added some ribbon around the neck, some red jute for the lips, and some googly eyes and heavy jute for the nose. I just kind of folded some over and then hot glued that where I had wrapped the jute. I wrapped the jute from the neck up to where I started weaving. So, hey, this is what I came up with, and I'm sticking to it. I don't know if you can think of something else I could have done with it. I would love to know, but this is what I came up with. If you have liked what you've seen, be sure to subscribe, like, save, and comment. Imagining various crafts is an art. Sometimes things turn out great, and sometimes, oh well. Also, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Facebook. And thanks for watching every week. I love you all, and I appreciate your comments. And remember, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. See you later. Bye-bye. Have a great week.